NBA, you've seen expansion. What are your thoughts about the league expanding soon?
Put a team in Seattle. I don't care what else you do. Getting out of Seattle was a bad move. It was a bad move for the optics. It's a bad move for business. Put a team in Seattle. It's one of the great cities in North America, if not the world. Put a team there. I understand that Vegas would help, balance that. Fine, do that too. Moving out of Seattle was a bad idea, and as soon as the NBA can reverse that, the better everybody will be.
Jordan, it's hard to be a worse owner than Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, for a while, was looking like he was trying to be the Michael Jordan of bad owners. And Jordan buys the team, and it's like, okay, what are you going to do with it? 9 seasons, 2 playoffs in a weak Eastern Conference.
How likely would you say expansion is in the near future?
What I said is it's inevitable that we'll expand at some point.
We all heard Adam Silver say NBA expansion was inevitable, and now the time is upon us. The NBA has expanded, and with the expansion, we all know one city that's a no-brainer for a brand new organization, and that's Seattle. They're a big market, they already have the fan base, and branding was simple because everything was pretty much established there decades prior. As for the second team, that was a bit more tricky. Adam Silver wanted a franchise in either Vegas or Kansas City, but Terry Free, billionaire, is a Carolinian who has wanted professional basketball represented the right way in the Carolinas, and he knows the disappointment that Jordan's tenure as owner of the Hornets has caused basketball lovers in the Carolinas. Basketball is a big deal in the Carolinas. Duke and North Carolina are 2 of the biggest college basketball programs in the nation, and some of the greatest players have played there, from Michael Jordan to James Worthy. Even the small schools in the Carolina get love. Steph Curry went to Davidson. Chris Paul and Tim Duncan went to Wake Forest. Even as recently as 2019, the top 2 draft picks in that draft were both from the Carolinas, in Ja Morant and Zion Williamson. We're talking decades of greatness on the hardwood, and Terry Free, our owner, is trying to replicate some of the success on a professional level in the Carolinas. Thus, we have the Carolina Knights, a team representing 2 states, South and North Carolina, as opposed to just a single city. A team that nobody wanted to see, but we're going to make great. So, Adam Silver has given us 3 years to make this franchise either popular or profitable. We need to become a playoff team within the next 3 years, or we're going to have to move out to Vegas. As for me, I'm the GM. But before I introduce you guys to myself, I'm going to introduce you to our owner, Terry Free. Terry Free is owner of the Carolina Knights. He is part of nearly every decision that is made by the team's front office. Happiness is only true when you have people to share it with. He wants to be happy, and he wants every one of his employees to be happy too. Money is not important. He has lots of it, and he's not afraid to spend to achieve his goals. Winning, winning, winning. That's the expectation. Not long term, mind you, but right now. And now that I've introduced you guys to our owner, I'm going to introduce myself. I'm Dusty McGuire, the new GM of the Carolina Knights. Quick disclaimer, guys, as we actually look at our team's arena as well as our uniforms, I just want to let it be known that this will be as realistic as possible. We're not going to get a bunch of 85 and 90 overalls off top. We're going to slowly build as a real team would, and I have a companion My Career series that's actually going to go alongside this series. We'll be drafting that player in the upcoming draft. So these first 2 to 3 episodes at the most, we'll be breezing through this first season and getting on to that so that we can really dive deep into everything that's going to go on in Dusty's career as GM, as well as that players come up through the NBA draft up into becoming a superstar talent. I hope you guys are ready for the ride. Like I said before, Terry isn't afraid to spend money to make our team good. He filled out every staff position possible, starting with our head coach, Stacey Redd, who likes to run a balanced attack. So when we hired Stacey Redd, we decided that every other assistant coach that we would hire around him would have to have the same type of credentials as far as being good at running a balanced attack. We want inside, outside. We want offense and defense to be played at a very high level. So me and Terry collaborated and we hired a shot doctor, a big man coach, post D coach, perimeter D coach, guard guru, and a wing whisperer. We spent as much money as we possibly could to make sure that we got the best assistant coaches possible for Stacey Red in his first season as a head coach in this league. We spent good money on our scouting department. We have Shannon Watson, who has the Bloodhound badge, which means he's very adept at identifying sleepers during scouting trips. We want to knock you over the head with the type of players that most teams aren't looking for first. We have a domestic scout, another domestic scout, and we hired a very good foreign scout. For our scouting department, we went for some individuals who haven't had too long in the league, but they're open to new ideas and new types of individual players. As far as sports medicine side of the team, we do have an overall team doctor, and we decided that this would be the area we would spend less money on for the start of our team. Unfortunately, we had so many positions that we were able to fill, and we put most of our time and effort into our coaching department and our scouting department so that we could get the right players for this team. So we do have a team doctor and a stamina trainer to teach our players how to conserve their energy when they're on the court and during our practice time so we can get the most out of them when it matters. And that's our staff, guys. We spent as much money as we possibly could, like I said, to put our team in the best position. As for this first season, we do consider this honestly a wash. We're not going to get too invested in any of these players. We only have one point guard at the moment, which is Dante Exum. We have Luke Kennard, KCP, Jalen Noel, and Zvi Mikhailuk as shooting guard. We have Royce O'Neal, Torrey Craig, Juan Hernan Gomez, Terrence Davis, Kenrick Williams, and Kevin Knox as the small forwards on this team at the moment. We have Mo Wagner and Lamar Stevens at power forward, and we only have one center at the moment, which is Willie Hernan Gomez. Now, what we want to do is allow these guys to play as many minutes as possible, the unestablished guys, so that we can see who is worth keeping on this team in the long term. We're not going to get too attached to most of these players because, quite honestly, the expansion draft didn't give us too many good viable options for the future, so most of these guys will not be here with us for the foreseeable future. They'll just be here this year. Some of them could get traded away at the trade deadline. But as you can see, honestly, right now, our roster is extremely subpar. We're looking for a high draft pick in this year's upcoming draft, and that is our goal for the time being. We're going to be talking to our scouts a lot during the process of this first season, and we're going to be trying to figure out who we can possibly get to push our team over the edge and put us in the playoff contention within the next 2 seasons. Now, we have Dante Exum getting a good amount of minutes, KCP, Torrey Craig, Mo Wagner, and Willie Hernan Gomez. We have Royce O'Neal as our 6th man. Juan is coming off. Luke Kennard is coming off the bench. Kenrick Williams and Jalen Noel for the time being. In the future, we may give some of the younger guys like Kevin Knox and Terrence Davis a real shot at getting on the court. But for right now, we're really running these guys. Quite honestly, we're trying to lose as many games as possible during this first season. But we also want to get Stacey Red and our coaching staff as much experience as possible. And if we decide to keep 2 or 3 of these guys, possibly 4 or 5 of them on the team for the future, we want to start building a good relationship with these guys this season. Us being in the Carolinas, 9 times out of 10, if we are able to get players to join our team in the future, we're going to have to overspend for them. So we're trying to find as much talent as possible through the draft. And here we have our first game up against the New York Knicks in MSG. What a way to start off our franchise. We're actually not playing bad. We're up 2, 10 minutes left. We're up 2, 6 minutes left. We're up 2 with 3 minutes left. We're actually going to hop into this game and see what's happening. Willie's having a good game with 24 and 12 very early on. Let's hop into this game. We're in MSG. This camera sucks. I'm going to change it for you. Fast forward during the edit. And let's hop into this game. All right. We got Luke Kennard with the ball up top. Derrick Rose defending. Royce O'Neal gets the ball on the swing. Looks like RJ Barrett is defending him. Luke sets a screen. Royce comes around. He kicks in, comes back out. All right, let's get some offense moving, guys. All right, Luke has the ball. He hits a spin that does nothing. He stopped. He pulls up, and he clanks it off the front of the rim. Not a good play, Luke. Kemba Walker has the ball right now. He kicks it to Julius Randle inside the arc. He's coming down on Torrey Craig, and he's fouled. I definitely wouldn't call that a foul, guys. But that's what the refs are calling it. Torrey's not happy with the call. Julius shoots the first free throw. He hits. The game is now 96-95. We got KCP and Willie Hernan-Gomez checking back into the game. We got Juan coming off, and we got Mo Wagner coming in. Julius Randle hits the second shot as well. Now the game is tied. Dante Exum's bringing it down. We have 2 minutes and about 24 seconds left on the clock. Stacy calls a timeout. Back to the play. Exum has the ball, kicks it into Willie. Willie dunks the ball down. That is exactly what we need, Willie. We're up 2 points right now with 2 minutes and 12 seconds left. It would be so great if we could get our first win of the season in our first game as a franchise in MSG. Tom Thibodeau calls a timeout. He's scared. The Knicks were able to tie the game on the last possession, so now we have the ball back. Dante Exum gets it off the inbound. Willie sets a screen. He kicks it into Willie out the pick and roll, and Mitchell Robinson completely rejects Willie. Sends it clanking off the backboard. Yes, and knocked up against the backboard and out of bounds. Not a good play for Willie right there, but honestly, Mitchell Robinson, he's a big body. There's nothing that he can do. Royce O'Neal kicks the ball off in the inbound, and Willie throws it away. 2 bad plays for you, Willie. We got Evan Fournier coming in. Kicks it to D Rose, who kicks it to Randle. He spins off Mo. He pump fakes. He stopped. He kicks it back to Fournier, who is wide open. Fournier puts up a shot. He hits. The game is now 100-98. We're down by 2 with a minute left. Minute 17. Royce gives it to Mo, who puts up a mid-range shot. He misses. Not a good shot in my opinion, but he did a great thing. Julius Randle fouled him, and Julius Randle is actually fouled out of the game now with only 20 points. Unfortunately, Mo misses the first free throw. We needed that, Mo. He does hit the second. We're down by 1. A minute and 13 seconds left. D Rose has the ball. We needed that free throw, though, Mo. Definitely keeping notes on these guys. D Rose comes right down court and pulls up in Dante Exum's face for the mid-range shot. The Knicks are now up by 3. Dante Exum brings the ball down court. He gets a pick from Willie. Willie rolls inside. He gets the ball up against Mitchell again. He spins, pump fakes, and he is blocked again. Mitchell Robinson has definitely been sunning Willie during the course of this game. Willie was having a good game stats-wise, but if this is what he's going to do against a big man like Mitchell Robinson, I can only imagine what he'll do against somebody like Embiid. Willie will definitely not be our center of the future. D Rose has it, kicks it to Mitchell Robinson for an alley-oop. The Knicks are now up by 5, and honestly, guys, that looks like that's about it. Dante Exum gets the ball off the inbound, misses a 3. We do get an offensive rebound from KCP. He kicks it to Mo. Royce O'Neal has the ball at the top of the key, and we're taking too long to get a shot off. Royce O'Neal gets a shot off at the top of the arc. He misses. Willie has to foul, and Taj Gibson is going to the line. We're down 5 with 9.3 seconds left. Taj takes the first free throw. He does brick it. Now it's time for Taj to take the second free throw. Hopefully he misses, and he does not miss. So we're down 6 with 9 seconds left, and that's the game, guys. We lose our first ever game as a franchise in Madison Square Garden. It's only by 6, and honestly, with the roster that we have, it's not that big of a deal. I do want losses this season. That is something that the whole staff wants. Julius Randle only went for 20. He went 6 for 17, so we played pretty good defense on him. He almost had a triple-double, though. 9 rebounds, 11 assists. Mitchell Robinson only had 2 blocks, but of course he had them when they mattered most. Willie goes for 26 and 12. 1 block, 2 steals, shooting 11 of 18. That's actually a good game. His brother Juan goes for 13 and 7. So we got a little duo right now. The Hernan-Gomez brothers are looking like our best players at the moment. KCP shot terribly, 2 for 12. That is not going to work for us, KCP. Mo shot terribly, 3 for 13. He did grab 8 rebounds. He had a block. He had 2 steals. Pretty good defensively, but that shooting is abysmal. Luke Kennard went 0 for 5. That's terrible. Of course, Terrence Davis, Kevin Knox did not play. So overall, at the end of the game, guys, we do lose by 6. We shot 24% from 3. That is terrible. We took 41 threes. Now, the Knicks suck at threes, too. They went 4 for 23. But for us to shoot 24% in general, that's terrible. We did get 6 steals, 3 blocks, even though they beat us in steals and blocks. We out-rebounded them when it came to the offensive boards. They had more assists than us, but we did have more bench points than them, and we had more second chance points than them. Off of those offensive rebounds, we won the time of possession. And that is a wrap for Game 1. So Game 1 of our Carolina Knights franchise, we do lose in MSG, hostile crowd. I'm not that mad with the team for that game. Like I said, as a collective unit, our front office is wanting to actually lose games. So this was actually a strong showing, especially for the roster that we have put together at the current moment. And that's it for today's episode, guys. In the next episode, we're going to make a big signing, skip to the trade deadline. And like I said, we're breezing through this first season so we can get to the real meat and bones of this series with my career and actually making our draft picks, guys. So stay tuned for the next episode. I'll see you guys there.